So the next topic is empirical probability. So you have seen theoretical probability. The next one is empirical. What does it mean, empirical? Empirical is when you have a frequency. That is when you have a count. So let's go ahead and take a look at the example. The formula stays exactly the same. Probability of an event is number of times the event occurs by the sample space. So here is the table. I want you all to pause the video, look at the table, go back and play it again. Okay? So what happens in this table is I have a table of married, never married, divorced, widowed, and the total. Male, female, and the total. Do you see that? So if one person is selected from the population described above, selected randomly, I randomly pick a person. What are they asking me? Find the probability that the person is female. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase all of this. So find the probability the person is female. Again, I start with my sample size. My sample size always goes in the bottom. Sample size is how many do I have altogether? How many people do I have altogether? So the sample size, there are 242 people. Do you see that? Out of them, how many are female? So I have female, 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 female. But what's the total number of females? 124. So the probability is 124 over 242. Like I said, you always have to simplify your answer. Sometimes they ask you in percentage, sometimes they ask you in decimal. But usually your MyMathLab is asking you for either fraction or decimal. So if this is a fraction, you will have 0.51. Sorry, if it's a decimal, you will have 0.5123. But let me see if I can pull up your Desmos and show you. Wrong. Okay, Desmos scientific calculator right here. So my Desmos, in my Desmos, what do I have? I have 124. Where is it? 24 divided by 242. You see this button right here? If you click on it, this will give you a simplified version. So the simplified version is 62 over 121. So there are two ways of doing it. You can either give it to me as a fraction or as a simplified version, 62 over 121. Okay, however your MyMathLab is asking you for. Now let's look at the next one. Find the probability. Oops, let me erase. Find the probability that the person is a married male. Find the probability the person is married and is male. I start with my sample size always. So how many people do I have? 242. Out of them, how many are married men? So I'm going to go ahead and erase all of this one. Married men, where are married men? So this is male, right? Male and married. So 65 of them are married men. Remember, they're not asking you for men. They're asking for married men. So this is 65. Again, you're going to go into your Desmos. Clear 65 divided by 242. 2. Fraction, that cannot be simplified. Okay, so however your MATLAB wants it, either if it wants in fraction or if it wants in decimal. So however they want it. If it's decimal, it is 0.2685. If it's a fraction, it is 65 over 242. If it's a percentage, never mind. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next one here. Find the probability that the person is a widow. So probability person is a widow. Again, you know my sample space, I have 242. Let's go ahead and see how many widowed people do I have here. Scrolling up. Total number of widowed. They did not ask me for male or female. They said just widow. How many do I have? 14 of them are widowed. So scrolling back down, 14. Again, what do? You go to your Desmos, 14 divided by 2, 4, 4, 2. That's the decimal. Click on this. That's the fraction, 7 over 121. Okay? All right, the next one. Find the probability the person is a divorced female. Now I have a condition, divorced female. So probability, divorced female. I'm just going to put a D there. What is my sample size out of 242? That's not going to change. Let me go back to the table and see how many divorced females do I have. So do you see that? I have 14 divorced females. I'm going to go back. 14 over 242, which is again 7 over 121. Okay, so please have your pen and paper. If you skip something, you can rewind, play it again, but always have your pen and paper when you are doing your math. Hope this helps.